Can we say hallelujah? Can we say hallelujah? Hallelujah. I made it. I made it. I made it. Hey guys. Hello, 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 hello. And guess what? I made it in the house early too. This is early for me because normally I'm on the road trying to get here. Oh, I'm tired. And guess what? No court tomorrow. No court on Monday. Woo, 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 woo. You know what that means? Field trip. Field trip for you guys. Field trip. All right, guys. I know everybody's doing the recap of Cuddy's interviews and stuff. I mean, testimony. But I'm gonna give you guys my experience, what I heard in the courtroom, what I saw in the courtroom, and because I haven't gotten to a point of giving you guys any of that stuff. I've been like just going through a whole roller coaster of frustration and being acting crazy, being doing bipolar stuff, going up and down, getting exercise. So now I'm going to give it to you guys. The only way I know how, the infamous way. The infamous way. All right, y'all, let's go head on. I want to shout out to my members. First, I want to make a shout out to my members. They witnessed me being able to get into that courtroom. Somebody sent me a message saying, Sylvia, your face was priceless when you were able to get in. I was shocked. And guess what, y'all? Even the guy, he was number 19, the one that they didn't let in, there was still somebody able to come in behind me. So I was all the way in, for real, for real. I was all the way in. Okay, I got all the way in. Yeah, you got your permission slip for tomorrow's trip. We're going to take the Staten Island ferry. We're going to do a lot of stuff tomorrow. Okay, we're gonna do is hopefully it doesn't rain. Okay, but anyway, so I want to shout out to my members. They were in that room and they gave me that positive vibe. They were praying for me and thank you. Your prayers was answered. Hallelujah. I got in and I got in on a crucial interview. I mean, not interview, crucial testimony. And that was Kid Cudi's testimony. I'm going to tell you. And look, I even had a chance to have some little spotlight on me on during that time too. I know y'all, I know I'm on, I know other people are on, great content creators are on, and my numbers are low, but I am so grateful that I wanted to just get on here right now and talk to you guys about my experience. My experience. I survived inside of that main courtroom because you know what? And let me tell you something. The main courtroom, it ain't all like it is. Like it, okay? It's very strict. All those who's desiring to get inside the main courtroom, let me tell you, it ain't all like it's planned out to be. You know, the only difference is you get to see the jurors, right? You get to see Mr. Cone in person. You get to see the real color of what he's wearing. You get to see really how the back of his head look, how much hair he got in the back of his head, right? How much hair he got in the back of his head, how much when the attorneys go to the bathroom, okay? You get to see that kind of stuff. You get to see who's sitting on the other side, whether or not the family member is here or not. Okay. I want to tell you guys, yes, his all those who were saying his sister was there, yeah, you guys were right. His sister was there because I had a chance. And guess what? I didn't even know that was her sister because I talked to that lady a few times in the cafeteria. So I didn't even know that was his sister. Thank you guys for bringing it to my attention that his sister has been there. She was there today, and then when I asked one of the reporters who's been in the courtroom every day, she's like, "Oh yeah, she's been in there." So I please accept my apologies for telling you guys she wasn't in there. because she has been in there. I couldn't recognize her from the little TV, watching it from the TV. So shout out to those who gave me that information, that 411. The sister is in there. She has been in there. Okay. The other thing is, I got to see how small that courtroom is, how tight and how uncomfortable it is. Okay. How much structure it is, how much rules are inside of that courtroom. And I guess because is it, but let me tell you, you can't try to sneak up in there. I told y'all earlier how the whole thing works, right? All right. You already know they come outside. There's 21 press people and 14 public. That is it. 35 altogether. 21 press, 14 public. That's it. They're not letting anybody else. And the rows are numbered. There's 7 people on each row. Okay? 7 people on each row. The press has 3 rows, which is equals 21, and the public has 2 rows. Okay? The public is sitting behind the family. The family has, I think, 3 rows as well. The public is sitting behind the family side. So that's why I told you the public really cannot see anything that Mr. Diddy is doing as far as his facial expression, because they're sitting behind the back of his head. They see his head real good. Now, that's because they're sitting directly behind him. Now, the press is sitting on the other side, not directly behind him, on the other side, right? And that side, they can see the side of his face. They can't see his full facial expression because it's only the side view they see, okay? Right? So when some of the press was saying how he did this and said it looked like this, they could have been telling a little bit of white lie, okay? But they could see some things, okay? And he'll turn around, and when he comes, I'll tell you all that in a minute. I'm just giving you the structure, everything. Okay, the deputy, he gives them instruction: no standing, no chewing gum, no talking, no food, no drinks, no nothing. You got to be on your P's and Q's. You cannot talk at all when the judge is on the bench. You can't even wink, nudge your neighbor, none of that stuff. You can't do none of that stuff. So you got to sit there and be good, okay? If you have a problem with being good, don't try to get in the main courtroom, okay? You got to be good. There was a few times there was some laughter in the courtroom where if everybody's laugh with them, okay? That's the only time you'll be able to say something, because then they can't pick everybody out that's laughing, okay? All right. So we came in, we sat down, and the judge was not on the bench at the time yet then. They brought Diddy in. He had on a pair of a gray sweater with a white shirt underneath and gray slacks. He had on gray slacks. And that's the first time I'm able to see his pants, because I didn't see his feet. So I don't know what kind of shoes he had on, okay? Because I didn't have time to look at his feet, okay? When he came in, he turned around, looked at everybody. He did his little, like, patting his heart thing, like, speaking to people that way, right? And he acknowledged people, right? And then he went and he sat down. He hugged all his attorneys. He dabbed a couple of them. He hugged a few of them, right? Then he sat down. They bring up his assistant, and he continues his direct examination. Okay. You guys, we're going to talk about the transcript. We're going to read the transcript on that and everything on that, right? So, but listen. I was observing. You know how I do, y'all. I was observing the jurors, y'all. Y'all know how I do. I ain't giving them no nickname now, but you know how I do. My eyes was locked and loaded on the jurors. You guys, you want to know my opinion? Do you want my opinion? Do you guys want my opinion on what I saw? I want you guys to give me your. Do y'all want my true opinion? And let me tell you something. Anybody come at me, get mad at me? I am reporting as I see it. If you don't like what I report, then you may not, my channel may not be the channel for you. Okay? May not be the channel. And let me tell you something. So far, as you guys know, I have not been wrong in my observation. Okay? And if you guys dislike what I said, okay, there's plenty of other channels that you can go to that you might enjoy yourself over there. Okay. I'm going to tell you what I have observed and how, because I have a discernment. From what I see, and I know somebody's going to be mad. They're going to be mad, but I'm going to tell you. Unless the prosecutor comes out with a slamming bunch of new testimony, it's going to be hard to convict on a lot of things based on my observation on how the facial expression. And remember, I've only been there one day now. I haven't been there every day now. I have not been in there. I'm just giving you guys my perception from that one. And that, there's a reason why I could not get in the courtroom before, because then y'all would have been like really mad at me before, right? But from my observation, it's going to be very, very hard to convict that man on all those charges. I'm just being honest. I'm just being totally honest. From what I've seen, because I was keened in, I was laser focused. I was looking at body language. I was looking at movement. I was looking at their expression, who they were looking at, when they were looking at it. And you guys know, I have not been wrong. Every juror that I've talked about in the past, I haven't been wrong. Have not been wrong. Okay? This is my perception. This is only my opinion. Okay? Unless the federal government comes out with a slamming new testimony and boom, hit a home run. And everything that I've been hearing, everything, from the rumors, and then when I hear testimony, I'm like, that's why you don't listen to everything you hear. You never heard me say Kelly was going to get off. Stop telling lies. Y'all never heard me say R. Kelly was going to get off. Stop lying on me. You never hear me say R. Kelly's going to get off. Don't lie on me. Don't lie on me. Don't sit there and lie on me. You never hear me say R. Kelly's getting off. Because I couldn't even see the jurors. So what are you talking about? I never said that. Could never see the jurors because where we were sitting on the overflow. I never saw the jurors because they were sequestered on whatever the thing was. So don't lie on me. Come in here, Lisa, whatever your name is. Don't lie on me. Don't lie. She's coming in here lying on me, talking about I said R. Kelly was going to get off. I never said that. Never did I ever say that. I don't sit there and lie. Don't lie on me. Ruby says, Sylvia, that wasn't Sylvia, that was Legs said that. Thank you. Thank you, Ruby. Thank you. It's in there lying on me. I'm talking about during the trial by testimony. No, you saw me with Lisa thing. I was cracking up about Lisa and her water drinking stuff. Um, and I never and I so I'm just giving y'all an observation, and everybody has their opinion, and I have mine. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, and like I'm entitled to my opinion. Y'all entitled to your opinion. I'm telling you from my observation and what I saw in the courtroom, especially when that guy was talking, that assistant, when that assistant was talking about his personal experience or what Diddy did for him in the company and stuff like that, y'all should have seen them. Some of them was like emotional. I'm talking about like their face, you know how somebody telling like one of those type of story, you like, oh, that type of thing. That's what I saw, really. And I saw one juror smiling. I was like, okay. And here's the thing, y'all. One thing about it, people's emotions sometimes it's very hard for them to not show it in their face. Even though they're supposed to have a straight face, I saw somebody thing. Lady Leo said, my opinion, he's going to jail, might not be for Rico, but judgment gonna ruin him. I think Lady Leo, I think his whole reputation is already ruined. I believe he's already ruined already. I believe he's ruined already because there's no coming back from some of the stuff that they exposed about his lifestyle. I believe he probably feel like crawling underneath a rock or something like that. You get what I'm saying? Some of the stuff that before it was just rumors. Now all of a sudden you hear all this stuff about these experiences that he's doing. It's like, ooh, yuck. You know what I'm saying? So he's up $1 billion. He'll be all right. Freedom is most important. Okay, D Sanders. And listen, I'm not a Diddy fan. Promise you, I'm not a Diddy fan. I'm not sitting here trying to justify anything. I'm telling you what I saw in the courtroom and what I'm hearing and what people are saying. You know what I'm saying? There are people who want him underneath the jail, underneath, and even them, some of them be like, I don't know. He's a bad guy, but I don't know about this. I think the government's overreaching. This is a conversation that I'm hearing in the courtroom, y'all. Government's overreaching. I don't know about that. I don't know if he's gonna. This is the stuff I'm hearing, and there's someone he needs to fry, and he needs to do this, and there's some people can't stand his guts because some of the stuff they said that allegedly he supposedly did to certain people. He didn't do his people right, and blah blah blah. I heard all of it, y'all. I've been hearing all different sides about it and stuff like that, and I just sit there and I just listen. I just take it in, and I'm coming back to report to you with you guys. And that's why I'm trying to just give you what factual things that I have observed. Okay. I don't know what's in the juror's head, but based on their facial expression and their body language, because I was taught, being in the industry, I was in not industry, but I was my home was a home for that kids who have been um what do you call it? My home was considered a safe home, right? For kids who has been abused, the essay, right? And I know a lot of people didn't know that about me, but my home was certified, so I had to go to classes to learn body language, learn how to see things that's not being said in the children, how they react, how the body movement, certain things. And I had to learn about those things. And I had continuous education, right? So observing body language of some of those jurors, I was like, So that's why I was so good at when I was doing those different trials, and I came back and tell you different things and giving y'all the nicknames, which I shouldn't have never gave, but that's why I was so good at it, because I learned how to read certain things. It may not be always right, but it gives you some sort of indicator. Sylvia, the thing that Diddy is involved in is with more common when people think. Really? They have millions of people doing the same parties and activity. It's any of them taking notes. Oh yeah, CMT. There was note taking, definitely note taking. And I have notes when, hold on a second. I was detailed in the stuff I was putting down because I wanted to bring that stuff to you guys. Hold on a second. And there was time Diddy was nodding his head. He was observing the jurors a lot. Diddy was observing the juror. I mean, what's his name? Sean was observing the jurors a lot, a lot. He's very hands on in his case, very hands on. When George Kaplan was doing his testimony, and when he was talking about well, we call it team builder, right? But they were calling it something else. There was a think tank, something like that. They were calling it. You saw Diddy nodding his head when the guy was giving him all these accolades. The guy was like he was like laying it thick for Diddy. He was laying it thick. I was like, where are we? We are what is this? A celebration for the accomplishment of Diddy, or where are we? Look at my notes, y'all. look, your girl was taking notes today, y'all. Look, your girl was taking notes today. Look, your girl was taking notes. Look, this is all from today. I put the car, the Porsche, and when he told him MFer. Okay, so they okay. So guys, let me put the link in. Maybe we can have a conversation, because I don't want to just sit here read notes, because we're gonna do a transcript and stuff like that. But I wanted to talk more of stuff that you guys didn't see, because the transcript was going to tell you what they said and stuff like that. But I wanted to, give you guys an engagement of what was going on inside the courtroom. Okay. What Kid Cudi say? We're gonna read his testimony. I got the transcript already for tonight for what he said. He said MF. He said the MF word. And did y'all see his car? When somebody said the car blew up, I thought it exploded, right? But his car was damaged, but he could have got it fixed. But I guess it would have cost too much money to get it fixed. How many attorneys? Too many, JT. Too many. Oh my God. He got so many attorneys. He even got attorneys that's sitting in the overflow, just observing people. He got so many. They don't even have enough seats for those attorneys. He got some sitting in overflow because he had a group of women. Like each attorney has a group of attorneys that's working in their office that is there as well. So he's spending some pennies, not pennies, dollars. What time will read the transfer? Have to run this. Okay. We're gonna do it later on. If not, we're gonna do it tomorrow. No, they're not paralegal. They're attorneys. Attorneys. Because when I you know me, I'm gonna ask questions. I'm gonna find out. They're attorney, not paralegal. Actual attorney. Because one of them showed me her bar license, and I was like, "Oh, you look like a baby." She said, she smiled at me. She says, "No, I'm one of the attorneys, associate attorneys here." I'm like, "Oh, okay, okay, girlie, congratulations." I saw police walk in with. Did they go on with him? You saw police walk in with who? Word on the street that hurting him because he's a Lady Leo. I can see why they say that. Lady Leo, I can see why they say that because he was taking control of the stuff happening in his courtroom. You hear me say his court. And the judge, man. I like the judge. I like the judge. The judge is very fair and even key. He don't play with none of them. No, they stop. They stop at a certain point. His bodyguard was with him, and his attorney. His attorney went in, and his bodyguard, Kid Cudi's attorney and bodyguard, came in. I put the link in so you guys could come in and ask questions. And I know one of the content creators did say that Diddy speaks to the crowd. Yes, he does speak to the crowd, y'all. He does speak to the crowd. He does. When he comes in, he does speak to them. He scans the room. He sees everybody that's in the room. He gives eye contact to people. Yep, he does. He surely does. Saying what? Thank you for your support. Thank you, JT. I miss you, JT. I miss seeing you. Oh, okay. Person that's coming in, you probably need to take your picture off. Take your picture off, person that's coming in. Change your avatar. Change your avatar. Okay, there we go. All right, here we go. I'm gonna add you to the screen. Hey.
Hey.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm fine.
All right. Court of public opinion is we want you to continue taking notes. You notice things that other people do not. So like the juror body motion, like continue to do that for us because yes, we don't see everything that goes on in the courtroom, but we do kind of all follow throughout the day different sources. So we have a context of what happened. We want to know the stuff that we don't see.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, like the jurors' body language. Are they taking notes? You know, how many, like, what are the attorneys doing on the sidebar? What is he doing on the sidebar? Like, all we know is it's a sidebar.
Well, let me tell you something. One of the things I did observe, there, you know, remember when I told you when we were doing YSL, and I told you there was some juror that loved Adam every time Adam came up there, and it was just like,
yeah.
Remember when I told you that? Well, still got a juror like that right now.
Well, and I was going to ask that because I will tell you, and I love BJ because she refers to Brian Steele every single time as Young Thug's attorney. And when I saw that clip of him walking in and somebody asked what music he listens to on his way to trial, he was like Jeffrey Williams. So I wondered if there was a juror that stood in that box that was like, I know him. Like, I know he gets down for his like defendants. I know we're going to see something good out of him. Like, he's got a reputation. Like, some of those attorneys, they may not because they're in federal court so much. Like, there's not a camera on them. Brian Steele had a camera on him for 2.5 years.
Yeah. And then the other thing, No, that's not CMT. Look, and then the other thing too, I was listening to those reporters in there, right? And I was listening. They really really gung ho on Nicole. They all said Nicole should have did Cassie.
Now, I did hear commentary about that, and I'm going to beg to differ because I feel like these attorneys are well studied on personalities and combativeness. I feel like Westmoreland is much more snappy, assertive, which did match what I felt like was Dawn's energy. Cassie was much more soft spoken, needed to be kind of treated soft spoken. I do feel if Westmoreland would have went at her the way that
Would
she
have been
went at
bullying.
Dawn,
It would have been bullying.
yeah,
Right.
it would have looked bad. Now, today, one thing and it will probably set the chat off, it's going to be controversial, and I don't really care. That's why I came up here unknown, because I don't need y'all astrobots out here attacking me and all that kind of crazy shit y'all do. But anyway, um, when Steele wanted to bring in the relationship level between Cassie and Kid Cudi, and the judge threw it out, and I strongly disagreed with that, because I did feel that it was important to show if she was solely just hanging out with the dude and maybe he had the wrong inception, or if she was fully committed in a relationship with him, like outside of just hanging out at the studio. Like when he asked if they were having certain kind of relations, and the feds were like, no, that's unfair. How can you do that? She's a victim. Yes, but she's also a key player.
But
So,
the other thing too, a woman is not going to invite you for Christmas to your family house
and
unless you're really in that close relationship.
and that was kind of like, I feel like Steele was kind of cut short with his ability to show that he got it out eventually, like, she played you both. But I do feel that it was a big part of what his defense could have been, had they have been able to lay that foundation today, that she wasn't monogamous and he wasn't monogamous, because they're trying to paint it that it was just one side. So I feel like they did kind of get a loss today, and not being able to lay that foundation that, hey, they were toxic together, but they both lived separate lives. They kind of painted it where the one witness said that Kim Porter was treated a certain different type of way, and the other two were just girlfriends. So he already had that hierarchy. It just took away, like, I felt the judge cut the defense short with being able to get that in
And that
today.
you can also remember, she is considered a victim, and you
She
cannot
is.
play a victim's.
And you're right, and I see that side of it too. So I do see where the judge was like, okay, this is gonna take it way out into left field. Y'all are gonna, degrade her and just run her personal life all over the place. I really think the feds have enough to work on with his finances, his business, and all that stuff. They could leave Cassie alone. We could not hear about Cassie again. And the jurors, I mean, are going to decide based off of concrete evidence that's going to come in. I thought there was going to be some concrete evidence with that arson charge today, but there was not. But
But
I
did you
do
hear
feel,
what Steele brought in too, which he was
well,
up.
and I feel, so one thing about Brian Steele, I know a lot of people are like, why did he take this job? One, it's good opportunity. It's reps. It gives you that combative level of different witnesses, all that kind of stuff. But when Steele said, do you have any surveillance? I was like, man, that guy lives and breathes McDonald's surveillance. Like, that just keeps rolling. Like, he was like, you got any surveillance? And I was like, what? He asking for surveillance tapes again. That was a good cook for him. But two, when he brought up the DNA, and I think we're going to find out that this Capricorn girl, the one who called and knew all the details, that Diddy was already in the house at this dude's house. Like, how did she know that he was there? We're going to find out she got something to do with this fingerprint DNA stuff. In my opinion. She may, I don't know, she may have immunity. I don't know all them kind of details, but I think she is going to be a heavy hitting witness. Her and that Christina Karam or whatever, whoever manages the books, whoever they bring in about the books, which is something they did not have with Jeffrey Williams. And that's why it just tells me that Fannie Willis had a flop and she did not have a case because there was no financial records of this stuff. So with them bringing somebody in that's going to validate that, that's going to be a huge gain into the prosecution side.
As far as his financial gain.
Yep. Well, what he was
gonna have to prove that the money came from that type of.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Whoever was running his finances, if there is proof that he was paying people for private businesses and all that kind of stuff and stuff he shouldn't have been, and you got accounting errors, and they're gonna get him on that. Look at what they just did with the other stuff up in New York. Like, you got accounting errors and your tax book's off and you didn't mark it right, they're gonna crucify you. So they're big about that tax write-off and making sure your finances are right. If that's not right for him, that's going to be a big problem. They're going to forget about all this other stuff, but the finances are going to be, if the feds have proof that he used his business funds to orchestrate criminal activity, it is what it is. And I hate it, but they got to have that kind of evidence too. You can't run a whole trial off of hearsay of famous movie stars and musicians. They're all going to have a vendetta. They're all going to say they were in competition with him or trying to beat him or trying to be his friend.
They're not even bringing anybody, no stars, and they're not bringing that in. That's not even part of the case at all.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So, because Cassie was like the first or second day, and they're kind of phasing out of her now. Now we're getting into the data. We're getting into the how the hotels were booked and what names, and we're getting into the conspiracy side of it. So,
but you gotta also remember, all celebrities don't use their real name because of privacy reasons.
Right, but who was booking? Who was doing all that? Who was doing the shot calling? That's who is going to be called. That's what I'm saying. That Kristen Karam, who was put on the hotel notes today, she's going to be a heavy hitter. They say Cassie was the star witness. I don't believe that. I think they hyped it up for the media to be invested, but I do not think she is the star witness. Your star witnesses are going to be the ones that have concrete evidence, and that concrete evidence is going to come with those books. That arson deal today, they piped that up. Kid Cudi's coming to court. He's coming to talk about the arson. They spun the media, and when it came down to it, there's no proof of who even did it. So the person that's going to really, bring that is going to be his finances. If he was using bad boy money records to orchestrate criminal activity, that's RICO.
Yeah, that would be. I mean, at least that's one part of it anyway.
But the STN, I haven't seen. I see where people say it was one thing, but the definition of it is another. So when those juror charges are read to them, it's going to say, this is what this definition is. And I don't know that I've seen that qualifies yet. But from what I understand, that Kristen Karam and this Capricorn are going to be heavy hitters into those two components, the kidnapping and the STN. So I'm curious to see what evidence they have. I give the judge a lot of respect. He's moving it along quickly. I was not thinking they were going to get through 5 witnesses today at all.
He's not playing.
Steele and Westmoreland are probably like, wait, hold up. We got 90 more days with this one? We get witnesses 90 days in our trials in Fulton County. We got to hunt them down.
Y'all, she just giving her opinion, y'all.
She's just
giving her opinion, y'all. Her opinion.
Don't come for me. Don't astrobot me. Psychos.
Look, she just giving her opinion. You could come up and give your opinion too.
This is America, and we have the right to free speech, as far as I know, unless the laws have changed.
Everybody has an opinion, and it's yes, we want to hear the
I'm
different.
actually really unbiased. I want to see a fair trial, but I also want justice to be served for who has been wronged or who has had things happen to them. So if you stand on a fair and equal justice system, you have to see both sides of it. I see where the feds are coming from. The feds don't usually prosecute cases unless they got a case. They don't mess around. And we heard that a lot with YSL. They kept saying the feds aren't going to pick this up because this ain't a case. So when they do bring a case, they usually do have pretty good grounds.
Yeah, they do have, and they can tell a story real well. It may not
Yeah.
be the right story, but they know how to put the pieces.
Now I'm gonna throw a red flag on Comey. She's a little young to like have all these high level cases, but that might just be who her daddy is and daddy ball and all that. But I'm not saying that she's corrupt. She might be. It's possible. They all are. But I do feel that he's entitled to a fair trial. If he is being charged for life, they should have to prove without a reasonable doubt that he is guilty of such crimes. And I do feel that it should be concrete evidence. It shouldn't be off of the blogs or what was said in his lyrics or what was said in a music video or what was said on Vlad TV. Like, it should be concrete evidence of a crime. So I don't know what the chat is even. Whatever. I don't get offended.
But see, yeah, I do agree. When if the feds bringing something on, they got something that's going to help them. But they also build stuff too. They tell their own.
Well, they do. I mean, just like the arson charge, they built that up today. They built that. They added that. Okay, well, when it came down to the wire, you really didn't have who did it. So that kind of strikes that out of one of those supporting acts to the RICO. We all thought that arson was going to be proved today, that he was going to get up on the stand and for the first time be able to say what he thinks happened. And when he did, they struck it from the record. So because there was no concrete evidence of it, he knows who he thinks. But back to Brian Steele, where's the surveillance? You don't have surveillance of anybody breaking into your home that night. And you don't have any surveillance of this.
No, but then he left the door. He didn't lock his door. He left his door.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know about all that. They might live in a gated community where he doesn't ever lock his door.
I'm saying anybody could have came to your house. You know what I mean? Even though you haven't.
Well, let me ask this: when Brian Steele questioned him and pushed back on him about that, how was his response? Like, did he act like it was no big deal that his door was unlocked?
Yeah, he acted like it was no big deal. He acted like it was no big deal. And he agreed that he didn't. I mean, because of everything that was going on between him and Cassie and Diddy, the first person that came to his mind was Diddy. Period. You know what I'm saying?
And I can understand that because as we learned in his testimony, I think the public perception was he was aware of Diddy. He was doing this. He knew for a fact because he knew what he was dealing with. Well, today showed he really got played. He had no idea that she was messing with this dude because he really was thinking they were monogamous. I don't know what her definition of monogamous is. She used it in like day one of her statements that she thought her and Diddy were monogamous this whole time. But I don't know what her definition is. That's neither here nor there. But he really thought that he was her one and only. So when all this is occurring,
I don't think he knew that because he was the one that when he met her, he met her through Diddy.
What?
When he met her through Diddy.
Well, yeah, because that's business. But he really thought that she wasn't messing with him when they were talking every day and he was seeing her every day. He was blindsided by all of this. That's why I think he was like, I think it was him. I would assume it was him because she told me he was dangerous. So, I mean, I can see where he was blindsided when it all in real time was happening. Like, he had no idea why Diddy was mad. He didn't know she was at a FO party with him. Why would he be going through your emails if you ain't seeing this dude no more? I mean, those are legit questions that probably ran through his head, and then his car got blown up. So why would he not assume it was him? But he doesn't have proof, so you can't charge him for that. Now, I'm actually surprised with what they found in the raid. And from YSL with those overacts, they can just throw anything in there. They'll just throw Instagram posts in there. They'll throw Yahoo posts in there. They'll throw TMZ fake news, fake news media in there. But that they did not include the pew pews where the magic eraser took off the designs of them.
But you gotta also remember those supposedly belong to the security team.
Yeah, but anything altered like that, it really doesn't matter. I mean, they altered it. So I think that, I'm really surprised that they didn't just throw it on there just to throw it on there. That's what tells me it's a cleaner case than we think it is. Because they could have just added it on there. They could have. They could have.
Yeah, but it would have been back to the owner of that security company that he hired.
If that was who they were. But you get what I'm saying? Like with YSL, they just threw it all on there.
Yeah.
I mean, that they could have, but they knew that would create red flags or thrown out evidence or run the risk of this or run the risk of that. So they leave that stuff out. But I thought that was a big component. I was like, when I saw that, I was like, ooh, that could have been added. He got lucky on that one. Because, look at all of them they had 196 overt acts.
Well, stop bringing YSL. We're not talking about
my point is the definition of RICO is not just one incident. It's there's supporting acts that go under it. So like his arson one today was listed under that, and it's kind of a strikeout with that, in my opinion.
But all of it still stems with Cassie.
For now.
Oh, there go my buddy. Uda.
Hey y'all, what's up?
I'm gonna let you guys have the floor now.
Why? What happened? Why you going somewhere? You informative? Where you going? What's up?
I don't know.
Hi to you, unknown.
Hello to you.
Okay,
both of you are.
Why you leaving when I come? What I did to you? I ain't do nothing.
Hey, I come over to you in the morning when Sylvia's in that courtroom, getting ready, getting nosy. I peek over at you, see who's in the background, see if I hear anybody's voice that I ain't supposed to be knowing should be around. And then I'm like, all right, we good. We good.
Oh, it's good. Okay.
And then I go into court when the rest of y'all go into court, and then I come out and I'm like looking through all these different lives because Sylvia ain't live, so I know if she's by you, she good.
Okay, I know that's right. First of all, I love your draw. Your accent. I love it. How y'all doing though? What's up, Sylvia? How you doing, Sylvia?
Yeah, he stood me up last night.
I came on there. I was in the back chat waiting forever. I was messaging you and everything, talking about I'm in the back and in the back chat. I'm sitting there like this, listening to the whole read. They bugging question, answer. I'm in the back chat like this. Writing in the comment in the back chat and messaging you, telling you that.
Hey, Rap, hit the link, Rap. We want all my fellas up here. Uda.
What's up, sis?
What do you think?
About what part? About what? About today?
Today.
Kid Cudi. Let me see what I think about him. I took a couple of things from his testimony that he wanted to get at Diddy, and he really wanted to get at Diddy, but then he sees Diddy at a time. But no, this is what I took from it too, that every time he spoke about Diddy, he said that Diddy was calm though, right? This is one thing, that Diddy was calm, right? Because why would Diddy be calm if he's vexed like this and he's going to your house and all these things that he's doing? You know what I'm saying? As well, I thought about him coming, Diddy saying that he didn't do the car, but look, the female's DNA being in the car was something that stuck out to me as well. Him being by his ex-girlfriend's sister's house, we're not knowing because they never specified that it was his ex-girlfriend, that he was by the sister's house with the ex-girlfriend. So there's a possibility that he was over there with the sister.
Time out. I have a question about that for both of you. Yeah. So that was kind of not easy to understand through the reporting. So the timeline of it is He was with Cassie at Christmas, and then he came back from Connecticut, and then he was with another ex-girlfriend. Like, that
The
was kind of
sister, the sister
confusing.
of the ex-girlfriend, the sister.
His sister.
So, yeah, it was kind of confusing when they led that, because it kind of made it sound like he was with Cassie's sister in some of the ways that it was written, of course. But the way that it went from Christmas, and then that happened in February, right? The car. So like 2 months later, he's already with someone. So it just that was a red flag to like the sister. I don't know.
Because
But
who
the
could have did
DNA.
it? You know what
I
I'm saying?
don't
They got
know. I
female
think
DNA. You know what I'm saying? So all of that. So there's a slight chance that Diddy probably ain't do it. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Who knows if Diddy did it? You know what I'm saying?
Well, if you go back to the email, he said it will not be my hands. I will be out of the country, and he was out of the country. So obviously there's somebody who did it. So that's why I'm wondering if this Capricorn is going to be a really big hitter, because she was on the phone, she had the address, she knew that Diddy was in the house. She was calling Kid Cudi, which I thought was weird. Like, how does she have his phone number? Like, I have questions. How does she have his phone number?
All of that. He had Diddy number the whole time too.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
but
It was a lot with
But
that.
Diddy with him was friends before. You know, they were friends.
That's true too. They were friends. Because Diddy told him that we were cool, and you did this to me, and that was my shorty. He did tell him that.
Yeah.
He did tell him that too. Like, yo, you fell.
I thought a really good shiny moment for Brian Steele today was when he said, "Can I say something?" And the judge was like, "No, wait till redirect." And Brian Steele opened that door. He was like, "What is there something you want to tell me?" Like, that is something that we seen through YSL, like giving them the floor to speak on the witness stand. I thought that was very reputable of him. Like, this is your time. Go ahead and say what you got to say. We'll have to defend against it anyway. He didn't know what that guy was going to say, but he still stood there and was like, "What do you got to say?" I thought that was very reputable of him.
Look, somebody said insurance scam gone wrong. Lord have mercy.
Lord have mercy. Have mercy. Yeah, it was a lot going on in that court, man. You know,
I think my thing is how did no cameras and nobody hear a chunk being cut out of the car? I guess I don't know how to put those in it, like what those look like or how you get, but they said a chunk was cut out. Like, nobody heard the chunk being cut out. I have like further questions about.
What do you mean? If somebody got a scissors and cut it,
just cut it. Just cut it. It's a rag top.
Oh, it was okay. See, that's what
It's
I
a
didn't
rag
know.
top.
It's a rag top.
It's a rag top.
That makes sense then. I was thinking they were like out there with like metal bolt.
No, he had the rag top Porsche. He had the rag top Porsche.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I was like, dang, they did a lot of work. They could have just busted a window.
But here's the thing: the car was not totaled, and he could have got it fixed. So I'm wondering why. Because they even asked him, "Did he get it fixed? Why didn't he get it fixed?"
I don't know. I don't know about all that, but
you still want to say he never got it fixed?
I think the DNA. I think we're gonna see that witness, and they're gonna have immunity, but they're gonna clear him. And that's what I was kind of saying. Like, that arson charge is gonna kind of fall off, because if that DNA is on there, then that's a witness that comes up and they got immunity. They're going to be cleared of that if they say, yeah, I did that but he told me to. That's going to be the key. But he told me to. When you ring that bell, you cannot unring it. Just like today in court when he said, I thought that he did it, or I knew that he did, or I thought he had something to do with it. They're like, strike that from the record. They still heard that. You can erase that from the record, but you can't unhear that. So
you can't unhear when Steele said it was a woman's DNA.
Right. So now those jurors have gone home and they're like, okay, well, that's a cliffhanger. So they're going to say, hey, this was so-and-so, but I'm going to bet that, like I said, that person's got immunity. They're going to be cleared of that. But the kick's going to be the directive. If he told somebody to do it on his behalf, because he already told and warned Cassie before that it wasn't going to be his hands on there anyway. He was going to be out of the country. So if it was him that ordered it, that person's going to have immunity on the stand.
But look. Okay, Rap City is here. Hey, Rap. What's the name of it? Why he just leave? Oda. Black and Brown Missing Voice says, I don't think Steele would bring up DNA if they even thought it would connect it to Diddy or anyone on his team. Even or anyone on his team. Rap City, we hear your thing in the background.
I turned it down.
Okay. Oh, he said it was unable to be salvaged. Okay. I guess it was so expensive to fix. Hey, Rap.
What's up, Sylvia? What's up, chat? What's going on, y'all?
How are you doing?
Hey.
Chilling, man. Starting some work.
You saw you editing?
Yeah, I'm editing today. Yeah.
Steele brought up the DNA. She asked who brought up the DNA. It was Steele.
If Steele, if he says something like that, he got it. I'm telling you, he got it. He got that DNA report and he's got it. He's just finding a way to use it now. It was able to be brought in. That's what they do. They start mentioning stuff and then they're like, oh, this is relevant because so-and-so testified to this. So now they can bring it in under a different circumstance.
But she's basically saying if it's connected to him, she doesn't think Steele would even bring that up.
Yeah, no, yeah, he wouldn't bring it up if he didn't have. I mean, if he didn't have a good intuition about what he was doing. Do you think that has Westmoreland been there, Sylvia?
Yeah, she's there every day.
So do you think that they will use her to cross-examine Capricorn now that the other two
we don't even know if Capricorn is coming?
Yeah, she's the first witness on Tuesday. It's been reported that.
Oh, okay, because I remember I left the courtroom.
Yeah, it's been reported that she's one of the first witnesses, and then the CFO is too. That's what I was saying. Those financial records are going to be, that's going to be a heavy hitter right there. What he was doing with his finances, and if he was keeping them separate. But I guess my question is, have you seen a rotation of attorneys that has been consistent through the witnesses? Like the females are going against the females, or the males are, you know, anything like personality wise? No.
Mm-mm.
What makes you think that Steele was selected to cross Kid Cudi? What do you think the defense picked him or selected him? Why do you feel that he was?
Because Steele did a lot of homework on that one. He did a lot of research and homework on it because he dug deep. You saw how deep he dug in there. Getting the police reports and all that stuff.
I think he really just wanted to ask if somebody had surveillance camera. I think he's been missing that question.
No.
Put a one in the chat if Steele got the surveillance camera.
That's the reason why. Steele's not to think about that.
He's looking for that McDonald's surveillance camera.
No, stop it. We get off of YSL. We moved on.
That's what we know, though. You got to remember, Sylvia, one of your biggest selling points is you do know how these attorneys do stuff. You do know that Steele says C for Colette. You know that Westmoreland is sharp and she is like a shark. She's going to nail things quickly, but she's also quiet. She's deadly about that. People counted her out. They were like, "What? Why would they bring her in? What?" Everybody thought she was crossing Cassie. Everybody assumed that this defense team brought her in because of her past to cross Cassie. And guess what? Every one of them were wrong. Did they retract their statements? No. And if you are in the chat and you did it, I know who you are. Go fix it. because
Lord.
she didn't end up crossing.
I thought it was going to be Shapiro, but I was wrong on that one.
So you know what I mean?
The voice. I thought it was her.
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious as to how they use her in the future, given that she did get such a good public perception. There was so much negativity about her out here. They didn't even give her a fighting chance. They were like, how could she? But when she performed the way she did, everybody's like, dang, now she should be number one. So I'm curious to see how they will use her. You will see her come in more with the heavy hitters that have a little bit more evidence, like this Capricorn or that KK, where he's alleged to have.
She might be doing Capricorn.
That's what I was asking if she had been. That's what I was asking. Had she been there listening? Because, you know, some they go and come if they don't need to be there. If she had been still there since Dawn's testimony, hearing what had been coming out, like live time. That's why I asked that.
She's there every day. She's there. In fact, that new guy might be taking her on too. That new guy. He just added one on the other day.
Yeah, he crossed one of the guys, or didn't he cross the psychologist?
No, that was the that new guy hasn't done anybody yet.
Well, keep keeping notes, using those notebooks. That's what we want. We want to see, like, we can hear all the other stuff from, give us what you're good at, and that's body language, the jurors. I'm disappointed you can see that guy get thrown out today. I was like, man, what's that note say? What's that sign?
No.
Some guy, it was reported on one of the outlets that he like had a sign in the courtroom. He was in the main courtroom. He snuck in and
no, that's a lie. Nobody was in the main courtroom with a sign. That's a lie. That's a lie. Now, if you said overflow, I'd be like, okay, I don't know about that.
Maybe. I mean that's just what the news said. That Diddy like pumped his chest out at him and he said thank you.
That's a lie. That's a lie. Oh my God.
I'm just telling you what was being reported. So that's what we need from you. We need, if that did not happen.
Now, see, the reason why I didn't say anything because I was like, okay, maybe it was an overflow. It did that. But the main courtroom, which I was in, they did not do that in the main courtroom. No.
Well, that's what we need is we need honest transparency to come back out here and tell us all that stuff. That's what we need. Your notebook needs to be filled. That's what we come here for. Feed the people.
Hey, Mimi.
I'm going to drop down. I'm going to let Rap Show and Mimi handle it now.
All right. Have a good one.
Hello.
Hey, Mimi.
How you doing?
Fine. I want to hear from Rap what he think about this whole thing.
Well, it's a lot. People always ask me what I think about it. I'm from out here in New York. So I have a better history as far as speaking about Puff than anybody do, because I work in the entertainment industry as far as being a cameraman.
Mm-hmm.
And outside of the case, everybody's focused on what's going on, and I'm not really focused on that. I know what kind of dude Puff really is, and I believe everything that they're saying. You feel me? That's just my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
so are you more like me? Believe like I do? I believe everything they're saying too. But my thing is, can prosecutors bring all of this forward to make him guilty? Which we know he's guilty, but we know it's all about the evidence too.
Yeah, he's gonna do some time.
I don't know anybody's guilty until the jury said it guilty. So don't be putting that out there with me.
Well,
okay,
I'm talking for myself. I mean, you're right.
When you look at this as a federal
case, until proven guilty.
Who was the last person that beat the feds?
You're right.
I know somebody who beat the feds, but we're
John
not
Gotti. Who? That was the last person.
You talking about the feds, all around feds, or just New York feds?
Federal cases that was in the media.
R. Kelly's co-defendants.
He's a nobody. We talking about people like Puff, John Gotti.
You asked me if he's somebody beat the feds. Darren McDavid beat the feds.
Not he's a nobody.
I don't know about him.
Okay. I'll just give you somebody who beat the feds.
You know,
and his co-defendant, we had a public defender, and she beat the feds. So
yeah. So back to her question. With me being a journalist and a documentalist, this is a moment in history. So I'm outside the courtroom capturing what's going on, people's opinions, everything that's going on outside the courtroom. As far as me caring about what's going on in the courtroom, I don't. I think I have a different outlook than anybody else. I don't really care about the case, because actually Puff is worse than they describing him in court. You feel me?
I can see that.
That's my opinion. And he's also done worse stuff than they talking about that he's getting away with.
He's been getting away with it for a long time too.
Look, Sylvia asked me the other day, and it kind of bothers me. I'm a Biggie fan. Junior Mafia, those is my niggas. I don't fuck with Puff. I never did.
Oh, stop that cussing.
I don't mean to get.
You're gonna mess up my algorithm.
Speaking about this guy with me, it kind of bothers me a little bit, because the dude is not really for us. He never really helped nobody. Nobody flourished. You feel me? So when you see me out there, like I told Sylvia, I'm out there for big, man. I'm out there for big moms. Know what I mean? That's who I'm representing out there for. I don't care about this Puff case. I'm out there. I want to see that. I want to see that man. Listen, I want to see that man go to jail, man. That's it. That's my personal opinion. I think he should be locked up just on the fact of what happened to Big. Niggas, your people forgot about 97. I'm sorry. But
I opened the wrong can. I'm sorry, Ralph. Okay,
yeah, I'm sorry. You know what I mean?
I want you to talk. I want you to give your opinion.
Listen, Sylvia, look. This is why I told you, when you see me outside, I don't really talk to nobody.
Yeah, I know.
Niggas, people is not from Brooklyn. They not from Bed-Stuy like me. So they don't feel it like the way I feel it. They ain't no Big. You know what I mean? So with me, it's different. You know what I mean? I'm on Big block every year. Every situation they have for Big, I'm there. That dude never showed his face over there to do nothing for Big family. So I don't really care about this case, man. I want to see the dude go to jail. That's my personal opinion, man. I want to see him go to jail for Biggie, not for what is going on with Cassie. What's happening to him right now is karma for all the stuff he did, especially what happened to Big. That's what he's suffering for right now. I'm gonna end after that.
All right. Mimi, you see what you did? You got my stuff.
Sorry.
If I get demonetized on that one,
that's his opinion. That's his opinion, though.
Yeah, but if I get demonetized, it's gonna be your fault because you brought it up.
Oh, okay.
You're gonna get demonetized. I ain't say nothing too bad. I pretty much said the same things I've said on my lives about him back in the days. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Tawana in the chat, that's my opinion. If I said he guilty, he guilty. That's my opinion. Okay? You got your own.
Well, let's not fight. Let's all agree to disagree. We all have our opinion. Yeah, we all have our opinion, y'all. Let's respect each other's opinion. Let's respect each other's opinion. Lord have mercy. Ooh, Lord have mercy. Ooh. Ooh.
Oh, it's all cool. You know me, Miss Sylvia. That's my opinion. Everybody entitled to their own opinion, right?
Yeah, everybody's entitled to their opinion, yes.
You know, so.
Authentically, Lola said, as a native New Yorker, I totally agree with you. Somebody said, free Puff till it's backwards. One king says that. Puff don't have to take care of you. Oh, okay. I don't wish jail my worst. Me neither. 411. I mean 441 44 smiles. So I'm woo. Rap City, you got a couple of people that agrees with you on here.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna get back to my work after this, but real people know the truth. All right, that's it. All this Cassie beating and all of that, he's done worse of stuff than that that ain't even being mentioned. Rest in peace to Kim Porter. I'm gonna leave it at that, man. But people are in their graves because of that dude. And y'all enjoy the rest of y'all night, B.
All right.
Thank you,
Good
Rap.
night. Bye, Rap. All right, guys. Woo! See, he didn't do anything too big. If he beats this case, he's gonna be a real demon. Ooh. Oh. Okay, y'all gonna have to tell me what is really going on, because I really don't know. I'm like, I guess I've been living under a rock.
Yeah, I mean he from there. He might know what he's talking about.
I'm from there too, but I guess because I was never part of any
Right.
of listening
Exactly.
to stuff, so
And maybe he might know some stuff we all don't know. So I mean that's that man's opinion.
astrology mind says sounds like he speaks facts. Yeah, I would really like to know what really occurred, what happened.
It's deep, Miss Sylvia. I mean, they say he got a lot of bodies. I'm just speculating because I don't know nothing like deep in the situations.
Don't
But
speculate. Don't
well,
speculate. You have
I
some facts or proof, or
allegedly, allegedly, they say that. But like I said, he might know something that we don't know.
she says a long-standing Diddy set Biggie up. It's a personal for him. It's all different for him, and but those streets may know. I'm from Brooklyn, y'all, and I didn't have, look, Coco. I'm from Brooklyn. I don't have a clue what the heck is going on. I tell you, I must be living under a rock. But stuff like that, rap stuff, and I never dealt with those kind of stuff. Ask Biggie's mother's deceased. Biggie mom's died.
Then too, Miss Sylvia, you weren't in the streets, so it's some
Huh?
stuff. I say you weren't in the Brooklyn streets, were you?
No, I was never in the streets. No,
Yeah.
I was
So
in the
that's what I'm
hood.
saying.
I didn't know.
Them streets be knowing. Anybody else want to come up and state their opinion?
Yeah, let's curtail the cursing and let's just stay on an even keel. Yeah, you might be passionate about something. Let's just remember YouTube guidelines. That's why people don't slide for their people. Kid Cudi kept quiet all these years. I wonder why. I don't know. I don't know.
A lot of people, I mean, a lot of people are scared of him too.
Scared of who? Biggie? I mean, no, not Biggie. Diddy? Why they scared of him? Because he got money and he could do stuff to people? Joanne says, I agree with you 1000%. He ain't hitting on nothing. And I hope God show his hand in this. Okay, I'm confused on that one. Yes, that's exactly reason, Sylvia. Oh, you said because people scared of him? He makes bodies disappear? All right, I was about to do something to my hair, but I'll keep my headband on my head and keep my head back and forth. I hit my head back and forth. You said because people wouldn't believe him. Yeah, I guess this is a very touchy subject, huh? Very touchy, huh? All right. You know what? Let's do a poll. I'm gonna do a poll. Here's my poll. I'm gonna ask you guys, since everybody has their opinion going on in here, I'm gonna ask you guys, do you think he's guilty or not? I'm gonna do a poll. A poll. Do you think Diddy is guilty? Hey, would you finish? Yeah, I saw him. Why, you like him?
No, they was talking about it on the thing.
Yeah, I saw him. That's why I got up so early to go to see if I can get in there. Okay, I want you guys to do the poll. Tell me, do y'all think Diddy is guilty? Yes or no? I want y'all opinion. Give me your opinion. Do y'all think Diddy is guilty? Yes or no? Do y'all think Diddy is guilty? Yes or no? Let me see what you guys are saying. Yes or no? Do you think Diddy is guilty? Thank you for the super chat, for giving me the super chat. Let me see who gave me a super chat. Let's see who gave me a super chat. Huh? What happened? Thank you, Lady Leo, for the super chat. %62% on 58% says yes on infamous slide, and 59% says yes. So y'all mostly think he's guilty then. Majority of y'all think he's guilty. Interesting. Yeah, most of y'all think he's guilty. So it's roughly over 50% thinks he's guilty. Interesting. 5 charges, 14 counts. Angie's vlog say hello channel. Hey, shout out After shout out from Nick and Tisa. Oh, they gave me a shout out? What? Nick and Tisa gave me a shout out. Thank you, Ange. Thank you. Do you think he's guilty of the RICO, the whole case? Do you think he's guilty of the whole case? That's what I'm saying. Do you think he's guilty? You said one man cannot be guilty of a RICO. Well, R. Kelly was guilty of a RICO. He was one man. So it can't happen. Levon, it can't happen. R. Kelly was guilty of a RICO, one man. I think they've proven the RICO. That's why they keep naming folks. That's why they keep naming folks picking up drugs, paying with Diddy card. She says, but yes, but R. Kelly should not have been. They did R. Kelly wrong though. Guilty by time served and probation. One man is not an enterprise. I gotta go get me some water, y'all. Oh, I got my water right here. Hold on. Ooh. Y'all, old age. Don't get old, young folks. Don't get old, young people. Don't get old, young people. Oh. These bones keep cracking. My child will be here tomorrow. Dallas will be here tomorrow, y'all. So, you guys ready for a ferry ride tomorrow, y'all? So we're going to do a ferry ride tomorrow. Y'all ready for a ferry ride tomorrow? Oh, it's going to rain? Y'all ready for a ferry ride tomorrow? More people saying free R. Kelly versus free Diddy. And the government needs to stop telling. No, Joanne. Joanne said the government needs to stop telling lies. Did Dallas celebrate her birthday? I think she did. I wasn't there for her birthday. I was here. How did Kid Cudi say they got in his house? Because it wasn't through the door. The one channel said, huh? The door was unlocked. The door was unlocked. He didn't lock the door. Who said it wasn't through the door? Because that was one of the things Mr. Steele brought out, that the door was not locked. Huh? no forced entry, and female DNA, bruh, you know. Jack McConn's next witness is who called Cuddy and told him, did he? Tell Dallas, don't forget the charger and the things you forgot. I didn't forget a charger. What charger did I forget? The charger's here. What charger did I forget? I didn't forget any chargers. I got all these chargers here. I got a whole bunch of chargers. Got a whole bunch. What charger tall glass you talking about? Tall glass. You're confused, ma'am. You talking about the extension cord? I got chargers. I got all my chargers. You talking about extension cords? You said I forgot something, cause it was something that I did say you forgot that you didn't tell me. What was it? Was it the cord? I gotta tell her bring my charging cord. Oh. Cassie likes Puffy to fine looking for her. She enjoyed Kim. Huh? Miss Sylvia, you need to get some rest so you can enjoy your day tomorrow. Yes, Cara, you're right. Didn't you just say, tell Dallas? Cece, you know I'd be forgetting what I said. Hold on a second. Hold on, Cece. Hold on. Tell Dallas. Hold on. Yeah. Shoot. Hold on. My allergies. Hey, hon, could you do me a favor? Did you leave the house? Oh. I needed you to check. Did you check about the camera? Okay. And if, huh? Oh, okay. Okay. Do me a favor. Could you bring me a charger? The cord, just the cord. The C one. I don't need the flash lightning. I need to see. Okay. Thank you. All right. Later. I hope she remembers. She said, yeah, she'll bring it. All right, tomorrow, y'all, we're going to get up in the morning. We're going to go field trip. I'm quite sure Busby told her you will never have to testify. Cassie liked that Puffy go after men she was with. This will be a check. Good night. Going to watch the game. Good night. Yeah, it's the game time. Good night, everybody. Thank you for coming by, y'all. Appreciate it. Oh, somebody got a phone. All right. Good night, everybody. It's been real. Tomorrow is field trip. Okay, we're going on a field trip. What time y'all getting up for the field trip? What time y'all getting up for the field trip, y'all? What time y'all getting up for the field trip? All right. I'm gonna get some rest. Good night. Good night, everybody. Peace out. Love y'all. Bye.
Thank you for watching the infamous Sylvia channel, where laughter and fun make up our panel. Together we build this digital spree. We appreciate you and our growing family. With mods by our side and chat flowing free in this online space. It's just you and me. We laugh until tears roll down like the rain. In this virtual world, you ease all my pains. We're a family, not just a show. Every click and comment makes us grow. Mods and chat, keeping the vibe so right. Together we shine like stars in the night. We cherish the moments, the highs and lows, from the latest gossip to stories untold. You're more than a viewer, you're part of the crew in this space of ours. It's all because of you. This digital world where emotion is shared, every post and reaction showing we care. The love is real in this virtual domain. With every sign, enjoys what we'll gain. We're a family, not just a show. Every click and comment makes us grow. Mods and chat, keeping the vibe so right. Together we shine like stars in the night. We're a family, not just a show. Every click and comment makes us grow. Mods and chat, keeping the vibe so right. Together we shine like stars in the night. This digital world where emotion is shared, every post and reaction showing we care. The love is real in this virtual domain. With every sign, enjoys what we'll gain. We're a family, not just a show. Every click and comment makes us grow. Mods and chat, keeping the vibe so right. Together we shine like stars in the night.